Hello, everybody. I just want to let you know I miss being at school, and I hope you're surviving all right at home with this quarantine business, and you're getting a chance to do some schoolwork, and you're getting to be active a little bit. I know we've had some nice weather, and we've had a chance to go outside and play, and we've had some rainy weather too. So hopefully you like some of the lessons that I've been sending out to everybody, and hopefully you're doing some of your own PE. I've had some kids send me some great pictures and videos of some activities that they've been doing at home, like pulling fence posts and doing some concrete work. For me, I'm getting a chance to do a lot of yard mowing for all the older people in my neighborhood, which is fun for me because I get to help them. And I get to go to Home Depot for them when they need stuff and they don't want to stand in line out there. So anyways, today I'm going to read you a book. It's called Miss Nelson is Missing. Kind of reminds me of school because this is a book about some kids that are a little bit naughty, and they're going to learn a very kind of a valuable lesson about being naughty to your teacher. It goes like this. The kids in room 207 were misbehaving again. Spitballs stuck to the ceiling. Paper planes whizzed through the air. They were the worst class in the school. "Now settle down," said Miss Nelson in a sweet voice. But the class would not settle down. They giggled and they made faces. They were even rude during story hour. There's a little dude standing on his head. They always refused to do their lessons. "Something will have to be done," said Miss Nelson. It's hard to have a class like that. The next morning, Miss Nelson didn't come to school. "Wow," yelled the kids. "Now we can really act up." They began to make more spitballs and paper planes. "Today, let's be just terrible," they said. "Not so fast," in an unpleasant voice. A woman in an ugly black dress stood before them. "I am your new teacher, Miss Viola Swamp." She rapped on the desk with her ruler. "Where is Miss Nelson?" asked the kids. "Never mind that," snapped Miss Swamp. "Open those math books." Miss Nelson's kids did not know what to do, and they did exactly what they were told. They could see that Miss Swamp was a real witch. She meant business. Right away, she put them to work. She loaded them up with all kinds of homework. "We'll have no story hour today," said Miss Swamp. "Keep your mouths shut," said Miss Swamp. "Sit perfectly still," said Miss Swamp. "And if you misbehave, you'll be sorry," said Miss Swamp. The kids in room 207 had never worked so hard. Days went by, and there were no sign of Miss Nelson. The kids missed Miss Nelson. "Maybe we should try to find her," they said. Some of them went to the police. Detective McSmog was assigned to the case. He listened to their story. He scratched his chin. He said, "I think Miss Nelson is missing." Detective Smog wouldn't be much help. Other kids went to Miss Nelson's house. The shades were tightly drawn, and no one answered the door. In fact, the only person they saw was the wicked Miss Viola Swamp coming up the street. "If she sees us, she'll give us more homework." And they made it away just in time. Maybe something terrible happened to Miss Nelson. Maybe she got gobbled up by a shark, said one of the kids. But that didn't seem likely. "Maybe Miss Nelson went to Mars," said another kid. But that didn't seem very likely either. "I know," exclaimed one. He says, "I know what happened," exclaimed one know-it-all. "Maybe Miss Nelson's car was carried off by a swarm of butterflies." But that didn't seem very likely either. He was a know-it-all. The kids in room 207 became very discouraged. It seemed that Miss Nelson was never going to come back, and they would be stuck with Miss Swamp forever. They heard footsteps in the hall. "Here comes the witch," they whispered. "Hello, children," somebody said in a nice voice. It was Miss Nelson. "Did you miss me?" she asked. "We certainly did," cried all the kids. "Where were you?" "That's my little secret," said Miss Nelson. "How about story hour?" "Oh, yes," cried the kids. Miss Nelson noticed that during story hour, no one was rude or silly. "What brought on this lovely change?" she said. "That is our little secret," said the kids. Back at home, Miss Nelson took off her coat and hung it in the closet right next to the ugly black dress. When it was time for bed, she sang a little song. "I'll never tell," she said to herself with a smile. That's because she was Mrs. Swamp. P.S. Detective McSmog is working on a new case. He is now looking for Miss Viola Swamp. Well, I hope you like that story. Maybe you've heard it before. It is kind of a fun story about kids misbehaving at school and learning a valuable lesson about it. So I will read another story soon for you and get it to Miss Harden. Take care.